Hey guys, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Time for a little tea chat. So I got my tea here, I'm ready to go. There's nothing like tea and honey, I'm going to tell you right now. And I actually, when I buy my honey, I buy it from guys that actually sell it personally, not from the store. Because the store can only, they have a different makeup. They can actually use partial real honey and partial fake stuff. So when you buy it from guys that are beekeepers, that's what they do for a living, it's 100% pure natural honey, and that's what I want to have when I have my tea and honey. Okay, so a couple of different subjects that have been on my mind. The first one I'm going to talk about is Eric Garner down in New York City, the 400-pound man that was choked to death by the police. First of all, I think it's a little extreme that they reacted, the police, I mean, the way that they did over a guy selling Lucy cigarettes. I mean, big deal. There's a lot worse things to be doing than selling, single cigarettes to people, and oh, he wasn't paying his taxes, and so. But here's a clarification that I need to make on this, because this has been bugging me when I see all these t-shirts with the NBA players and stuff with the I Can't Breathe t-shirts. Well, here's a clarification. As a nurse, and actually as knowing this personally myself, because I was wrestling around with a kid when I was 16, and he got me in a chokehold, and he didn't realize that he had cut my air off. Well, here's the thing. When you can't breathe, you can't say, I can't breathe, because you can't talk if you can't breathe. So, the first part of that video where the guy says, I can't breathe, misconception there, he could still breathe because he was talking. Now, granted, obviously, he ended up dying because they choked him out to death. They didn't stop, okay? But when he said, I can't breathe, he was still being able to breathe at that point. Because if you were in a chokehold, so go home and try this on your wife and see if it works. I'm only kidding when I say that. If you have somebody in a chokehold and they can't breathe, they can't tell you that they can't breathe because they can't talk. It's just the way it goes. I don't know why it works that way, but it does. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. I think the police were 100% wrong in that situation. Okay, and I want to clarify that too. I'm not like pro-cop all the time. I think that the police have turned into a militarized unit that they're no longer, to protect and serve as they used to be. They're more of a revenue source for the state. That's my personal belief. Just trying to get tickets, write tickets, make as much money for the state as they possibly can. So I just wanted to talk about that. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the Wounded Warrior Project, which I think is a fantastic thing to help out veterans and stuff like that have been wounded, and they do different projects to help these guys out. I think it's an awesome, fantastic thing that they're doing. But I have one problem with that. As a veteran myself, why isn't the government taking care of our wounded veterans? These guys that, don't have legs or arms, or they're, badly disfigured, due to being burned, or, just being shot up so much that they have all kinds of injuries. Why isn't the government taking care of them? Okay? I'm going to give you a good example. When I was in basic training, and we got our first weekend leave, and they knew that, we were going to go out there and we were going to get tattoos and do all that type of stuff. And so they informed us, just so you know, if you go out and get a tattoo and it becomes infected, you can be given an Article 15, which is a punishment, okay, for damaging government property, because that's what you are. When you sign those papers and you join the service, whatever branch, you are government property. So if you go out and get your tattoo, and my first one was this one right here, Fight or Die. I was very gung-ho, and it's very faded now because this tattoo's almost 30 years old. If you get the tattoo and it becomes infected, they can charge you with damaging government property. So, but the way it works, unfortunately, with the government is once they've used you up and you're no longer useful, they throw you away like you're a piece of garbage. They don't take care of our veterans the way that they should. I mean, obviously, with all the turmoil that's been going on with the VA and the head of the VA stepping down, that's all for a reason. I mean, it's a very sad situation. We need to be treating our veterans way, way better than we are. I mean, these guys go over there and they risk everything, and some of them don't come back, whole. Mentally, they don't come back whole. So we need to have a lot more respect for these guys, and the government needs to take care of our guys and gals that have gone over there and given the ultimate sacrifice and stuff like that. But it's you know, I don't like the fact that they're getting on there and trying to play on the heartstrings to get people to give money to take care of people that the government should be already taking care of. That's my only thing that I don't. I mean, like I said, the Wounded Warrior Project does a fantastic job. They do great things, but the government should be doing that already. We shouldn't have to be relying on an outside organization to be helping these veterans out. The government should be taking care of that because they've gone and done what the government wanted them to do. So that's my rant on that. So I just wanted to say that. Just want to give you a couple more quick updates with my son Eddie, with the whole calling out at night while sleeping. I tried using the punishment method with his computer time, and it just didn't work. So I've sat down with him before and I've talked to him, and so and I've yelled at him. Trust me, you get very frustrated when you're not getting normal sleep. So what I did is I sat down with him and we talked a lot. And then the next night we sat down and we talked some more. And I tried to just reassure him that you're safe, you're home, nobody's going to hurt you, nobody's going to get you. And we talked about that the cats are like watchdogs, that if somebody came in the house that the cats would let us know, which they probably would, they'd freak out. And I said, we've been here 8 years, I says, and nobody's ever tried to break in. So I'm trying to reassure him that way. And last night he probably had one of his best nights that he's had in probably better than a month. So it was really, really nice. So I'm trying a different approach to it, trying to rationalize and talk with him and alleviate his fears. Because what it comes down to is he's scared. So, yelling at him's not going to make it better, and I realize that, obviously, but when you're stressed out and you're frustrated, sometimes you do that, and I don't want to handle that way, and I try to explain to him, it's like, I yelled out of frustration and I apologized to him. Sometimes as parents we actually need to step up and apologize for our behavior with our own kids because it affects them, so I just want to talk about that. I took my daughter out today because Eddie went and he's spending the night with Mom today. Heather spent last night with Mom. She goes once every 2 weeks and spends one day. So Friday was her night. So I picked her up this morning, dropped Eddie off, so he'll be there. So I took my daughter out, and she was using her gift cards that she had gotten from family members and friends, and we went to the mall, and then we went over to Walmart, and she got a bunch of stuff, and she was ecstatic. So, and it's perfect. I mean, I love gift cards for the kids because then they can go and get what they want instead of get something and go, why would I get this? This is crap, So gift cards are awesome. Other than that, we're just hanging in there, and it's actually raining today. It's been raining all day. It's supposed to rain all night, and then the weather next week is supposed to really turn colder. I mean, when I say it's raining, it's like 34, 35 degrees out right now. So it's not like it's like, super warm. But anyway, so just giving you guys a quick update, doing a little tea chat here. Man, that's good. So just kind of letting you know what's happening right now. The kids will be back to school as of tomorrow, and I'm going to be hitting the pavement full force, looking for a job. I put applications in. I hate the way the system is today, the way you work things out. Back when I first started looking for work when I was a kid, you had to show up everywhere and put your application in. Now everything is online, and I can't stand that. So, but anyway, it is, what can you do? It's just, that's how they do it now. So that's it, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all had a great New Year's. I sat here with the kids New Year's, and we watched the ball drop, and as soon as the ball dropped, I'm like, okay, time for bed. So it was good. It was nice. It was just really mellow, and it was very enjoyable. So that's it, guys. I'll talk to you later. Prepping this one out for now.